Look, I didn't wanna do it, I was cheating. I saw what you tweeted. This shit goes so hard, they probably asked me to delete it. Probably want the fire alarms, now you know it's getting heated. Good luck to those with their guards down, I think you'll really need it. Really need it, yeah. Told myself it wouldn't come to this, but I'm here, better just have fun with it. 2 years in a row, you fucked with it. Now they're really gonna get what's coming, bitch. First year didn't pick me, K, that's fine. Simple mistake, happens all the time, but second year, now you're really gonna miss Jack. All of your fans better bump your diss track. Gone for the minute, then I came back with a couple biz snapbacks and a dank grab. You don't wanna know what I had for payback, and don't pull a bro, come on, we go way back. I've been working on this long time. Jake Paul, I'ma get you all signed. Check our videos, think that you'll find top 10 most viewed, 5 are mine. I was cheating, I saw what you tweeted. This shit goes so hard, they probably asked me to delete it. Probably want the fire alarms, now you know it's getting heated. Good luck to those with their guards down, I think you'll really need it. Really need it. You know, man. Hurts when you do me like that. Whole next verse dedicated to Pat, the man tripping on gamma. Sleeping in pajamas while I'm wiping my feet on the little homie mat. Oh no, that shot hurt, better get a doctor. For the little itty bitty witty Mr. Vlogger. Lagging in hoop, I'm about to get meaner. But I guess it makes sense that you picked up a stream. Cause you don't make vids, man. Think about this, fam. Same stream every day, call it commitment. Got a bodyguard, but I really need a hitman. Bop, bop, bop. That's what you get, man. Chose me last. Rose for life, my ass. Wish I could say that the past is the past, but this is what I'm made for. Getting what I came for. If not for me, you'd be stuck at the airport. I saw what you tweeted. This shit goes so hard, they probably asked me to delete it. Probably want the fire alarms, now you know it's getting heated. Good luck to those with their guards down, I think you'll really need it. Really need it. Okay, who's next? Last but not least, Mr. Pizza and Mac and Cheese. Neither post videos, what a tragedy. Could you tell me right now, what the fuck is a weeb? Chillin' for the minute in the same house. 3 nights in a row, Mickey D's take out. Chucky over me, were you paid out? Isn't he the one that like just came out? It's a cabinet, bro. Come on, quit tripping. Everybody knew and we all cool with it. I run this shit like a guest house. Even Jack posts more than Lex now. Oh my god, like I dug they ditch. Taking shots and I'm not gonna miss. I'm the boot, you're the bugs I squish.
Yo, Jack, I fucked your bitch.
Here's my distraction.
The It Is What It Is podcast is brought to you on multiple platforms. You sexy bastards. Anchor, Google Podcast, Radio Public, Stitcher, Breaker, Podcast, Spotify, and on iTunes. Listen, you're quarantined now. Like I told you, you're going to be home. You're going to be in your bed. You're going to be getting bed sores. What's the best thing you can do when you're laying in your bed with your ball sweat all over you is listen to the It Is What It Is podcast, okay? So you got to do that. If you're not watching us live right here and you're looking at our beautiful faces, you can look at it on all those platforms right there. And today, you sexy bastards, we have a great podcast for episode 96. We have the man, the Zest God TheSmithPlays. He is here. We are live. And people, get ready, saddle in for episode 96 of the It Is What It Is podcast. Put a finger down if you ever stepped in dog poop. Put a finger down if you ever fought a bear. Put a finger down if you ran over a kid before. Put a finger down if you ever skinny dipped. Put a finger down if you threw up in someone's mouth before. Put a finger down if you ever slapped your mother in the face. Put a finger down if you ever ate yellow snow. Put a finger down if you ever committed murder. The fuck does that mean? Oh, and we are live!
You cut out.
It's done. It's done. It's done. My throat's done.
Like, oh my god, you just
bleeding.
Got your throat.
It's bleeding. It's all over. I tried hitting the high note, but you know what? I think today the high note didn't go into my throat. But people, welcome back to this podcast episode 96. People, listen, okay? I don't even want to go through the whole shebang. How we doing, Jack? How you doing? You good? You living? You breathing? Good?
Oh yeah, we existing out here.
So we have a great podcast for you guys today, and this is something where me and Pat have been in contact many times trying to get it together. We can never get the timing right, but today on April 4th, 2020, we got the Zest God TheSmithPlays. Pat, how you doing, my friend?
I'm actually doing pretty good. We're in weird times right now, but
yes,
I'm good.
Very weird times.
Yeah.
How's the quarantine affecting you where you are?
Dude, like nothing has changed for me. I work from home
That's
for the
it.
most part, so I just am still working from home, and that's it.
Dude, it's so funny when you see all these people like they first of all when they're like parents and stuff and they're so used to having a nanny, so used to having a babysitter. Like I haven't been in the house with my kids for more than 3 months. I'm gonna snap out. Like they're starting to get rid of their kids, and a lot of people are saying they're gonna have to start taking in stock that has to do with divorces because divorces are gonna go up, breakups are gonna go up. I'm starting to get sick of my mother. Not gonna lie to you. So we're gonna have to separate a little bit. But
Did you see over in China? I don't even know if it was like sarcastic, but there was like a statistic when this one group came out of quarantine, like 80 couples filed for divorce at the same time. It's
I did not see
dude.
that.
Dude, that's the real stress test right there.
That is
through
on
this
a relationship, yeah.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. When we come out of this, we are gonna learn more about people. And I think the people who were dirtbags before this, they're not gonna be dirtbags again. They're gonna start washing their hands more. They're gonna start taking care of stuff more. And I feel like at the end of this, we are going to pretty much see who really cares about their health, and then who really just is walking along with a lot of diseases and viruses that what, thank God for now.
I hate how it takes this virus for people to have like actual hygiene. They're just like, hey, make sure you wash your hands. It's like, what have you guys been doing this whole time?
Dude, Reed was saying, he was like, I'm such a germaphobe. I'm so happy people start get hygiene back in their life. Like right now, thank God. But no, right now they're saying it's gonna be like the peak of it, like the next week and a half or something. It's going to be the height of it all.
That exponential curve.
The mountain they're talking about, the mountain, the curve. Listen, first of all, even though this whole thing in the quarantine happened, Pat, right away, did this make your work ethic go up, or did it make your work ethic kind of like because the whole world's depressed? Like, did it actually affect you that way?
Oh, dude, I'm like, I have more free time now.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I have more time to work. So yeah, something also like we were talking about the breakups. I actually recently broke up with my girlfriend, like 2 weeks ago. And
I'm sorry. First of all, sorry for that.
It wasn't because we were like quarantined in together. We don't live with each other, but it was certainly like, things were already rough. And it was just like another stress on top of everything.
Yeah.
So it was gonna happen, I think, either way. But
so it was kind of mutual. Like it wasn't like a very dirty breakup. It was kind of
no, not at all. It was very mutual.
Good.
Oh, that's good.
She's a super mature person, and we're really good. But things happen, and people grow up, I guess, get older, and things change.
You got the rest of your life ahead of you. That's everybody.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
But with that said, like. That and I can't do anything on weekends now. It's like I have so much free time. So I'm like I started a new channel because I was
the Minecraft channel.
Yeah, the Minecraft channel.
So why not,
Dude, let me tell you something. This quarantine, first and foremost, definitely. In fact, I remember seeing I think it was Drifter, for example, and he was like, dude, I thought I was gonna be going all out with these videos, but just in the world and the comatose that's over everybody right now, like that black cloud, it's starting to affect people differently. And now I'm walking into my kitchen here and there, and I'm starting to see like these advertisements like, if you are thinking about suicide because you're home too long, I'm like, whoa, wait, we're getting to this part now. I'm like, damn.
It is, you can definitely feel a shift in just like the community, just people in general, like are just kind of sick of being in one place at the same time. It's kind of gloomy in a way.
Yeah, no.
I think the people that are gonna get through this well are the people that like use their time to like find meaning in it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just doing nothing, like it's gonna get really, really boring really quickly. But if you're using this time to like work on something, like maybe you start reading more, or exactly. Like learn an instrument or do something that you're passionate about. It's like I have a buddy who's really into music, and he's kind of excited about this because he doesn't have to go to school right now, so all he's doing is making music. So if you can use this time to find meaning, like you're gonna get through it. But I think if you can't find that, it's gonna be really, really hard.
Pretty much. And this is, I told my mom this too. I'm like, how about whatever project anybody had in hold for a little bit, how about you start that project? Whatever thing you wanted to do that you were always holding up on, if you can do it at home. Like, for example, that one closet you didn't clean out, and you're like, I gotta clean out this closet. Now's the time to do it. And I can speak for myself here with that, but I'm just saying, like cleaning my room, definitely, I got time. Where am I going? Gotta get those old dirty socks on my floor out. But yeah, no, without a doubt, I feel like at the end of this, I feel like this is like a rebirth for everybody after, because I can't wait to go out and play basketball. Holy shit.
It's gonna be weird. Like, everybody, if there's gonna be like a definitive time when it's just like, all right, you can go exist
Let
again.
the gates open. Everybody's flooding out, just running.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah, they're gonna have to contain that. They're gonna have to like slowly roll that out.
Yes.
You can't just be like, all right, everything goes back to normal on Monday, because then it's just gonna be bad again.
No,
I
really.
just need a haircut, man. I
feel that.
Dude,
everyone needs
my mother, I said, Ma, you gotta cut this. I said, I'm gonna go like a Billy Ray Cyrus mullet. I can't have that happen. We gotta go out. We gotta get this going. So she started cutting. She clipped my ear. Gonna sue. But she was like, she's like, I can't get that angle. I'm like, Ma, don't worry about the angle. No one's gonna look behind me and inspect my earlobe. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But I need a haircut. Jack the Boss.
you're getting some.
I can't.
That's good, dude. That's good.
I look like a fucking mad scientist. I look like Bill Nye's cousin. I can't do this. I can't.
You gotta throw some stuff in it in the mornings. You'll be fine.
I'm a hairspray guy, so I can't like gel it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you gel hairspray?
See, I use like a paste. I don't like gel. I use like a weird paste.
You're getting fancy on
it.
us using paste.
Yeah, I'm paste too.
Paste gang.
What's a paste?
Yeah. It's like in between gel and. I don't know. It's paste. I don't know how to explain it.
Is it that shit that makes your hair like rock hard, like that hard paste?
That's gel.
No, that's gel. Yeah, paste is like kind of in between. It's a little bit lighter than gel. It's like not as strong.
Like I have stuff in that just kind of like helps keep it up and off to the side.
Yeah, okay, in a way. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of Jack. I'm thinking of going and getting a new hairstyle. Because this flip is getting a little old. It's getting a little old. So I asked my mom.
Just go bald.
Dude, this is the great time to shave my head. It really is.
Why not?
You've got like 2 months to grow it out.
I mean, yeah. I look like a chicken nugget though when I shave my head. I can't do it. I can't do that. No, I look like a mannequin.
A beluga whale?
Yeah, I look like a mannequin in Modell's when I have a shaved head. It doesn't work out. But what you call it, like you said, Pat, right in the beginning, it's a weird ass time just in general for the world. Weird ass time for the community and whatever we make, content wise, where we are on YouTube. And first and foremost, I know what a lot of people in the chat right now and everybody in the world, especially your boy JC, responded yesterday. You're back at Zombies. Why?
Yeah, funny thing how that all played out, eh? I went on like
that's one. I just want to count. That's 1A. That's 1A. We're gonna hear. That's one. Someone keep count.
There's gonna
like
be
a ding.
Probably 18. I'm guessing.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now don't taint it though. Say it naturally. Don't taint it.
No, of course not.
All right, good to go.
I'm gonna monitor it now. But yeah. So I basically like I was at this point in December. And actually leading up to December, like even October and November, where I was just becoming really unhappy with my content again, and just not really enjoying YouTube. And I had been there before with zombies, and I knew the feeling. And I knew the feeling of recording something and just feeling bad inside. It's like this, I get this feeling that it's like eating me from the inside because I know I'm not enjoying the content. And I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I mean, Fortnite, for anyone who still plays it, like it's just kind of been on the down for a really long time.
Updating it less and less a lot.
But yeah, after they started their new season or new chapter, that was huge. But then it was just like, oh, they're not putting out. Yeah, because they were doing like weekly updates, and it's like now they're doing monthly updates. It's like, okay, well,
that's a big change too.
Yeah,
especially for content creators.
Yeah, and so like at that point, it's kind of like knowing the writing is on the wall. So I was like, I just gotta go away. And I'd been wanting to do like a really big travel trip for a while. And my original plan was to do 3 months, which actually would have had me coming back like 3 days ago.
Wow.
But I can't even say it was anything to do with the virus. I just kind of wanted to go home. So I was like 7 weeks in, and I decided that was like enough for my trip, and I was away for long enough. And I would love to say, like, after like 7 weeks of like being away and finding myself, I was like, I think it's time to go back to zombies. Like I was there for like 1 week, and I got to the point where it was just obvious. It was okay. Well, I don't want to just be posting Fortnite. I'm getting kind of bored, and the content isn't there for me to even do it if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And then it was, well, what else do I post? And I said, I haven't even touched zombies in probably 2 years.
Yeah.
I just put that away. I needed to rest from it. And the thought of coming back to zombies, but not doing what I used to do, was really exciting. Because
a new take on things.
Yeah, like I didn't want to come back to it and just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do top 5s and stream every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say the top 5 vids. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I've done that, and I've been through that ground, and that's like covered territory. But I was like, I could do some different stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that would be cool. So that was kind of the thought behind it. It is a game that, I mean, it's probably still my favorite game of all time.
Isn't it interesting the perspective you can get? Like you said, you realized it like a week after you left, and that's what it kind of took for you to be like, like I could like go about this a whole different way, and it gave you a new outlook on the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it was just like, it was really like Tim Hansen's like review series he did with all the maps. I was like, that's so cool. I would love to do that, but just put my own take on it and my own ideas, because I've never really gone through all those maps. So it's kind of fun, because I have like this script writing process now that I've never had for videos. Like everything I do is just like I get a loose list and facts, and then everything else is just I just improvise it.
Speak on it, yeah. I think that's the best way to go about stuff. It's like a mix in between just going off the cuff and then a full script, which just sounds more like a robot. It's like somewhere in between where you can kind of put in your own things that you think of in the moment, while at the same time you have a structure of what you want to do.
Yeah, that's 100% it.
And you also made it, like you just said before, I can go a whole new perspective. You even saw that, like, okay, like a lot of YouTubers didn't really see at the beginning and towards BO4 was, instead of just going and picking up and going and saying, okay, that's it. When you did do that, you were like, okay, you know what? I did say that, but I can go a whole new perspective. I can just do it. Literally, the content I love in that game mode, I can do still content in that game mode, but totally different content. And something that I never even touched on before. And I even remember your video, Why I Love Zombies, September 17th, 2018. That was why I love zombies. And you even said, left the zombies community. And you literally said specifically in the video, like, it's hard to, because you even said it. You're like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say what it ain't. It's a down period. You literally said, I left the zombies community. And when I'm being truthful with myself, and I quote, when I'm being truthful with myself and the things I need to tell myself, and the truth is, I was just burned out. Pretty much that's it. And you probably weren't even the only one at the time that you were burned out with zombies. Not even.
Half the community. Yeah.
So what made you take the actual step? Because especially once it's on paper, once it's out there in the public, they're gonna always see that and be like, but wait, because like when you're back now, like a lot of people are like, oh, wait, he was just saying he didn't. What? so what made you put that publicly and say that's no, this is it?
Man, that video was like, I think what it was. I mean, I almost have to jump back to when I decided to leave zombies, because that was like, I mean, I think. Was it the
end of Zombies Chronicles, like towards the end of like whatever BO3 was giving us?
Yeah, so it was I did all of the Z House, the second Z House, and that was like nothing but zombies. And that summer, I remember like I was holding off on a whole bunch of cool ideas to do that summer, because I knew like summertime is when more people are viewing, and that's going to be a big bang. And after summer, I hit this point where I had nothing left to do, and my only hope was World War II zombies. Now, in retrospect,
look at that now.
That's not so good.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of excitement for World War II zombies. But yeah, that was out for like after 2 weeks of that, I hated it. And the thought of going back and trying to get a better record on Origins or anything like that, just I was gonna stop making YouTube videos before I kept doing zombies. And this new game had been out for like a bit, and I'd streamed it a few times. It was Fortnite. And I said, why don't I take the top 5, top 10 content that I used to do with zombies? I'll just do it for Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I mean, Fortnite being the game that it was, like there was such an audience for that it wasn't even like I had this scary transition phase. I literally just went to Fortnite and everybody loved it. Like there were, well, not the zombies people, but it was getting so much support behind it. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to follow through on this because it's this or nothing.
Yeah.
So then following through like a whole year later, I mean, I was doing Fortnite, but it was always in my head. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to zombies once I get to Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
And leading up to that, I just was feeling so guilty because I hadn't said anything about where I was going to go with zombies and what sort of what I hadn't been talking about.
You felt
Black
like
Ops 4 at all.
You owed the community something because you kind of just did.
Yeah. I need, like, I hadn't really said anything at all. I had made like 3 videos on zombies since I moved to Fortnite.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt really guilty that I just left without like giving an explanation. It wasn't that I left, but it was how I did it that I felt really bad about. I should have just been honest from the start. Yeah. But like when you're a creator and like your livelihood depends on it, you don't want to be like, hey guys, I hate making these videes, but I don't know what else to do.
Because you know
just
what?
Want to do.
Yeah,
go on, Turbo.
No, I was gonna say, like, and you even I can only imagine how many uploads you put out where inside you were like, I don't really fucking think I'm not really enjoying this. Like, this isn't, but and you even said in the video, the constant state of Thursday has to be a new video, Saturday has to be a new video. That constant mindset completely diffuses every entertainment aspect in your head. Like, okay, this is going to be entertaining, besides that's going to be uploaded for the next 2 weeks. So it gets very confused, and it's hard. And I would like to know, like, how did you learn to, like, decipher that to be like, because a lot of people, and even if this is really funny because the timing of this is perfect. Red Austin 27 just posted a video yesterday explaining how us, the fans, creators, community, can also affect how the game, the longevity of the game works in itself. And he even said, and this is funny because a lot of people think, Pat, that you, when BO4 came out, you just stopped in BO4, but you literally stopped before that. Before BO4, you pretty much started Fortnite way before BO4 came out, before we knew anything, like you said, when World War II was out. So, especially in BO4, when you had a lot of creators, a lot of them get burnt out when they saw the zombies mode really isn't what it was built up to be after BO3. A lot of them left, and a lot of them pretty much went on their own way to say, you know what, I'm going to do my own thing. And like I was saying before, diffusing between entertaining and, like you said, where can I go from a different perspective in this game mode to just, like, leaving when the going gets tough. So what do you think majority of this, like, pattern you see in the community, like when the going gets tough in a game mode, people just say, it's down period, it's not going well, the going got tough, I'm gonna go make new content, despite the fact where I think a lot of creators should do, you know what, when the going gets tough and the typical videos that usually happen in the beginning, the usual tutorials I make, the usual storyline videos I know I make every single year that's gonna get the hits, when it doesn't and the going gets tough, where do you think that the creators and just in general the community can try to learn to say, you know what, maybe I can try being creative before I go out of this game mode?
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I feel a lot of YouTubers in the BO4 especially were like, you know what, this isn't the game I'm used to, and I feel like a lot of YouTubers were used to those insurance vids. Like, I know these certain vids are going to hit the mark, and when they didn't, they had to be like, I got bills to pay.
There's also a difference between, like, the vids that you want to hit the mark and then the ones that hit the mark for you personally, like, that give you self-satisfaction and, like, you're enjoying it. Like, I think in his case, he had, like, a mixture of, I mean, some of these are doing good. Like, I could make these, but at the same time, am I actually enjoying making these? I think that's what a lot of people had the problem with. And I don't know if that's because we're on BO4. We've had so many of these games come out before. We've had so many zombies installments, and it's feels repetitive, or just because BO4 was actually a bad game. It's kind of hard to tell.
So what do you think that is, Pat? Do you think it's just at the end of the day they have to pay their bills, or at the end of the day it's like they should learn when the going gets tough? How about buckle down, get creative before just saying, I'm gonna go to Twitch, I'm gonna go this, I'm gonna do that?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack with that, but I think it's there's a lot of good stuff to talk about in there. Trying to where do you even start with that? Like, the thing is like when zombies is really up, it's easy to hit those videos like you said, because there are the tutorials. But in these off periods, this is when people are creative.
Yep.
You know, this is when it happens. Like my entire YouTube channel got its start in an off season. Like I built my like initial base up for Black Ops 2. And that was like, I think my first 20,000 subscribers, 30,000 maybe.
Yeah.
But then it was like a whole off year. And so Lex started uploading top fives, and then he was like, dude, you should do this too. So it was that off period for me anyways that allowed that creativity to flow. You almost need the cap on content, because otherwise people don't need to get creative. They just upload a tutorial, you know?
Yep.
So I think if you really try, like if you're in an off period and you really try, you can find that creativity. But that period, if you're going to stay with zombies, it's going to probably force you to a lot as well.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And exactly what you're talking about, right? Austin's video, his quote was, influencers were trying everything to make sense of who they were, what they were gonna do with their lives, and lacked the maturity and experience to handle it properly, hence going back to BO3, when BO3, Pat, you can know from you're the best one to know this. BO3 was the golden age of zombies on YouTube, the golden age for the fan base, the golden age for the game itself, where you could make a video, a storyline, why Nero's taint smells like shit. You can make that video, and then it can get a bunch of views, but then as the periods of now, it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna make that video because I don't give a shit about the mode itself. So where do you, like, I hope that, like, where do you see it? And you're a big advocate on this, of this next game coming out, this community of new creators coming back, and, you know, so where do you think it's gonna be same old, that pattern of, if this next game isn't good, they're just gonna go and not even try to, like, revamp their content to try to make it creative? Or do you think it's just gonna be like the same old pattern?
Oh, I mean, I can guarantee you the day Black Ops 5 drops, every YouTuber and their mom is going to have how to pack
shield
a punch,
tutorial,
how to find Juggernaut, how to do the Easter egg. Like,
yep,
that's always, you know, but I mean, that's like content people want.
Yep.
So I don't think there's anything wrong about that.
But it's when you rely on that as a backbone for everything, is whenever you kind of, you know, misstep and you don't plan ahead in terms of like adapting to whatever it is. Because BO5, who knows what it's going to be? Do you have like high expectations for it? Like, do you think it's going to really change? Because a lot of people are like, you got to be like really about it, or you got like just
Jack's holding on by a thread here with every single
like I'm expecting like a dumpster fire. I want the best for it, but I'm not expecting a whole lot. I'm hoping it's good, but I'm kind of, you know, sitting on the edge. But are you expecting a lot for it?
I mean, I think based off of the last year's track record, we shouldn't be expecting like this crazy Black Ops 3 thing. That's just not really all that logical. And, you know, people, I mean, people are so weird about Jason Blundell. Like in Black Ops 3, he was a literal god to the community.
Say it, Pat.
And then Black Ops 4, everyone's like, oh, he sucks and he's always sucked and I hate him. And I hate his mom too. And like we do this weird thing where it's like you're only as good as your last piece of content.
Yeah.
But I think like losing your lead guy doesn't matter. That's
definitely going to put a dent in things for sure.
Yep.
So all I know is I'm not going to expect Black Ops 5 to do good. I mean, I think people who, after Black Ops 3 ended, I mean, I was kind of in that same boat where I was really hoping, you know, oh yeah, the next game will be good. But I just think, and this was part of a big reason why I did go to Fortnite, was I thought like this is going to give me something new to do creatively,
a new whole
and
perspective,
also and show myself that I'm not just tied to zombies. And I think tying yourself to one game while
you get trapped,
one way,
you get trapped.
It's like the easiest way to grow a gaming channel is just do one game, because then people subscribe to you and they know I'm just going to get this single game.
That's
but
true.
then, like you said, if you're reliant on that game staying good, Well,
But like you said, it's so hard to build an audience being like, oh, guys, I'm going to do this and this and this over here and this, because then people are like, well, I don't want all that. I only want this one thing. Like people are very picky about that kind of thing. So finding that balance is one of the hardest things.
And it's like people, what they try to do is they try to build an audience off of one game first. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to do some other stuff.
And then when they see those numbers go down, they're like, I gotta go back.
Yeah. So if you are gonna do the everything, you got to be hardcore about it, and from the start, like, don't stick to one game.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I was just like lucky that Fortnite came around at the time, and like I already had the experience of making like top 10s and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that allowed me to kind of make that smooth transition. But I remember when Black Ops 4 came out and everyone was crushing it those first 2 weeks.
Yep.
And just looking like, man, did I make a huge mistake? Should I never left zombies?
Exactly. Yep.
And I asked myself that, and I said, no, I made the right decision, because I wouldn't have wanted to have been the creators making that content, even with all the,
and you see that, yeah.
I would have loved to get those views. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it was like, I didn't want to put in a whole that year before of hating my life to get to that 1 month of goodness. I was like, nah, like I don't deserve those views. And frankly, like I don't want that.
Yeah, and you even said in that video, you were like, I got so number oriented. I got so number oriented when it came to the fact, and that mentality right there, where you had to say to yourself, no, I didn't make a bad mistake. I did go on the right path. And that's exactly what you're talking about, the pattern. Those YouTubers that they make those tutorials, they make those already videos. Then when they're like, oh shit, those template videos are done, I gotta actually go and be creative. And then they stop for a couple months. Then a DLC comes out, bunch of videos. Then they stop. DLC comes out, bunch of videos. They could easily go and say when that happens and there's a down period, they can easily go and say, you know what, I'm gonna make more vids and I'm gonna do it. However, they're so number oriented. So what was the breaking point for you to snap out of that number oriented mentality, where a lot of YouTubers, like we said in the beginning, where especially in the beginning of BO4, numbers weren't there. They didn't buckle down and say, you know what, I could do this like you did.
Man,
I feel like you never really escape the number.
You don't.
Outlook.
You really don't. And I'm starting to fucking learn that too, the hard way. But you can. So how did you learn to diffuse that? Where like for an example, the way I'm trying to really calm down right now is get Twitter off, get off Twitter a little bit, get off YouTube a little bit more, get the analytics app on a folder way off my phone, so I have to scroll for it. So what was that like the fusing point where you were like, you know what, this is the steps I'm gonna take to hopefully help it?
Man, I feel like there's two moments of that.
Yeah.
The first was when I made the move to Fortnite.
Okay.
Because that really at the start, I mean, I certainly wanted to keep a certain level of views. You have like this sort of expectation. I wanted to stay at that. But I really made the transition to Fortnite at the start because I love the game.
Yeah.
And then Fortnite blew up and the numbers were insane. Like that summer, Drake playing with Ninja, that whole period.
Oh my God.
Like that was just this crazy time on YouTube. And, I was seeing numbers even better than I had at like this first Z host, the best that my channel had ever done.
Yeah.
And once you do that, it's really hard to go back down. So it's like, I felt like I broke out of it, but it was like, what is that saying? Like out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Fortnite just made it worse.
Because then you're chasing that number again. You're always chasing that high.
Exactly. So then it was like a whole other year of Fortnite. And I think really one thing that happened was Social Blade stopped counting or like
That's what
YouTube
Jack
stopped.
wanted to bring up.
I wanted to bring that up with
Yeah.
Social Blade stopping and YouTube what's it called, shortening like the subscriber count, so you can't really get good of an idea.
Love that. Like I think I just hit like my Social Blade count just went up like recently, the next like whatever, and it was like, oh nice. It was a pleasant surprise, whereas before it would be like, man, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I used to check Social Blade literally like a couple times a day. It was probably unhealthy.
Dude, me too.
Because it was so live that you would see like, oh, yesterday I got this many. The day before that, it was a downpour. I was like, what am I gonna do?
Then you wonder why you got anxiety, and then you wonder why you're in these states of depression.
Yeah,
dude, it's so bad. So that was huge. But honestly, like for me, taking a 7-week break from not uploading was really good because it's like you do this thing where you just have to tell yourself you're not getting any views, you're not getting any subs for all this time, and you just have to accept it.
How did that feel? Because I can only imagine if my mother had like last summer, every summer I go on this lake house trip. It's only for a week. I didn't go because I can't have a week. I can't have a week of just nothing. I can't do that. So what? So like, did you have any thoughts in your head like I'm gonna be irrelevant when I come back? I'm just gonna have no one's gonna know me. Because that my head would be eating me up inside, man.
Yeah. So I just had to take that to the logical extreme, and I just said, yeah, that might be the case, but I'll deal with it.
No,
like,
but in most cases, you'll come back and everything's still
and
here.
usually that's not the case at all. Usually that's
But
just the way our minds work, where it's like, oh, we're gonna be, they're gonna forget about me, but then in real fact, they're probably gonna be more excited for your content that you're actually back and shit like that.
Yeah. Here's one thing I will say to anyone out there that's like, I can't take a break.
Yeah.
PewDiePie took a month break from YouTube. If PewDiePie can do it, like you can do it.
Yeah.
And I think people will even say like, oh, well, PewDiePie's the biggest. Like he can, no, but like, think about that operation that's running. Like he's getting 5 million views a day per video. Like you wouldn't want to break out of that. You wouldn't want to leave that.
And risk like losing any of that. I can't imagine what it's like from him to do that. Because I mean, although he has that fan base behind him, you're still leaving all of that and just like putting it aside for putting it aside for a month, and that to me, that I mean, I know he's well off, he's doing well for himself, but that's his livelihood, and you're just stopping for a bit. It takes a lot to do that.
No, but what you call it? So it really, and because you were pretty much speaking to me as well, because I have a very hard time now, especially with just the shit going on now. It's hard for me to sit down and say, I'm not going to do this because everyone I got last week for subscribers and viewers, I'm going to lose them instantly. That's instantly in my head, I think. And also, you know what's funny? I have to think of myself too as let me be a viewer for a second. Let me be a viewer. Let me make believe I'm subscribing to my channel right now. Okay, I subscribe to Turbo, whatever the case may be. I subscribe to Jack, subscribe to Pat. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to be seeing them in my sub box. I'm going to be seeing them. So you're not going to forget the person in a day. You're not going to forget the person in 2 days. You know what's funny too? As creators, I'm not sure if it's only me. As creators, I feel like sometimes we feel the last video we put out is the only thing they're seeing of us. They don't know we have a backlog of videos that people might be just going on and watching a video we did a month ago, a video we did 2 weeks ago, and even when you were gone, Pat, people were probably watching all your old top 5s when they missed you, your old Fortnite videos. So I think that's a big perspective too I need to learn, and a lot of people that have the same problem need to too, because at the end of the day, you're an example of it. You came back, you had that break, and like you said, it was a really helpful mentally for you, really helpful.
Yeah, dude. And on top of that, like I started the TheSmithPlays, I think in 2012.
Oh wow.
And I think I maybe it was August, and that December, I decided to start doing daily uploads. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, so that break, I had never taken more than like a week off. And like that week break would be being away, but still having to upload.
So you had videos prepped for it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I was good enough to get them all scheduled out so I could just get away. But, maybe like a few single week periods in there. And I was like, apart from that, I've never been away from YouTube since then. And I was like, I think I need to just step back and, just have like a perspective thing on the whole matter. Because you said, it's just like this, like analytics can be this black hole that just sucks your soul if you let it.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to look at it, but
You have to make sure you see where you're standing at all times. You need to make it's pretty much like a business, right? If you're holding a coffee shop, okay, 15 people came in this weekend, 20 people came in last weekend, but why did 5 people come in this week? You want to try to find out. You want to try to see maybe it's the weather, maybe it's that. And then in our example, the weather would be the thumbnails. Maybe the thumbnails weren't that good. Then the whatever the case may be, they blocked off the sidewalk. In that case, some boxes were fucked up that week. We always try to figure out exactly why stuff's going on. To pretty much wrap up this topic of pretty much, coming back to zombies and why and how our mindset was and how we moved from, transitions on our channel, I did a consensus yesterday with 15 smaller zombie YouTubers, and I was in a Discord call with all of them, and I pretty much asked them, I said, I'm doing a podcast with Pat tomorrow. He recently came back to zombies. I said, and we're going to see a lot more YouTubers returning. We're going to be seeing a lot more. Q-Night Z just started streaming. He streamed like a couple of days ago, and when I saw a fucking ghost when I saw that. I was like, what? I was like, where did he come from? And I told them, I said, and especially I wanted to do with smaller zombie YouTubers who are just starting to find their way in the community. And I asked them, what is it about these some YouTubers with you guys that you see come and go very often? And one of the majority of them said it really doesn't give and they don't know the example of the mental health because they really haven't been through the experiences and stuff you went through and big YouTubers go through when it comes to having to pay bills and stuff, sustaining your life from this YouTube channel. A lot of them were saying how sometimes it seems like a quitting mentality where they just go when the going gets tough and that's it. And what do you say to them? What do you say to the smaller YouTubers that they see that as like you guys as examples and role models where let's say they're having a bad month in zombies or they're having something go wrong that month and they decide to get up and go and then it doesn't work out for them, but then they say, well, Noah did it, well, Pat did it, well, they did it. So what do you really say to that where, so they can have a better like outlook on where they can go in the future?
I will definitely admit that I think it's in a way it's easier to transition if you're larger.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like sort of alienating a lot more people, but also you still have a lot of people that just like you for you.
Yep.
So I will definitely concede that like me going to Fortnite was easier than it might have been for someone small.
Who doesn't have a following.
Maybe.
But at the same time, when you have a small following, you aren't moving that many people over to something else.
Yeah.
You're a little bit more mobile.
So it's an easier move. So like for example, that's a great double-edged sword. For you, it's like I gotta have all these people kind of buy into what I'm doing. For them, it's like okay, I don't really have a lot of people to buy in.
Yeah, because like if let's say you have 10,000 zombie subs, and then you went to Fortnite and you got 50,000. It's like you've got a 1-to-5 ratio there. Like you've got so many Fortnite people to make up. Whereas, I mean, for me, like I think I left zombies at 1.8 million, and the last million subscribers have been Fortnite. So it's not even 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So I guess in some ways it is harder. But like to get back,
you could also transition people that came for Fortnite. You could show them zombies content and kind of they could be like, oh, this is interesting. Like I'll stick around and watch.
Yeah, that's what Noah did.
Yeah,
I mean, like he did Black Ops 2, went to GTA, got huge off of GTA.
I forgot his GTA time.
And people like I remember at the time were like, oh, like you shouldn't come back and stuff. And it's like, dude, the thing you gotta think about Noah is like how healthy that is for the community. Is like he brought all these eyes to zombies of people that hadn't been playing zombies forever. All these people that probably would have played like the old Kino and stuff, but brought all these GTA fans into the community. And, that's not just for Noah, but then it's like people get into other channels and they find your channel. So I think that's like a really healthy thing. And I hate when people are like kind of on that, like you have to stay here.
Yeah. You got to stay in your bubble.
Yeah. But getting back to like, if you're having like a bad month or something and, you want to like, I don't know. Do you mean like leave zombies or
so like for example, you would see in the beginning or towards Black Ops 4, you would see the numbers not there, and you would see the game mode that you expected a lot of the big creators to love, and then when it didn't go well, they just went on to different games and different streaming platforms and stuff like that when they saw that platform, that game wasn't doing well for them, and then going to the smaller creators where they had that same problem. Why it's so why and I asked them in pretty much their opinion why they think it's a quitting / like giving up personality.
Okay. And so you're asking why I think Do I think that's a giving up?
Yeah. Do you think that's what it is?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a quitting mentality? Do you think it's okay, I can just come back whenever I want because I have a big following, like you said? Do you agree with that? It's a quitting whatever personality.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say it's like quitting, because if you really just don't like zombies and you're not into it, then like you shouldn't make yourself play it, because that's gonna reflect in the content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if it's like, oh, I just want to do tutorial videos in zombies, or let's say, because that's like the template example, and you're like, oh, this isn't getting enough views,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like maybe like re-examine your reasons you're doing YouTube.
Yep.
Because if you're just you just want to hop over to another game to get more views,
And that's a big one. You're preaching to the choir there, especially with the people I was talking to. You're preaching to the choir.
Okay. Yeah. I just think like, I don't know, like name a tutorial channel that has over 1 million subscribers.
Not a lot anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the thing with tutorials, I mean, especially in zombies, it's like, I feel like it's something you kind of have to do to get that initial audience. Like back in Black Ops 2, I remember people saying how saturated Black Ops 2 was, and that there's no room to grow as a zombies YouTuber. And so I took that to heart very much, and I did different tutorials.
Yeah.
But I still did tutorials because I was like, this is how I'm going to get eyes on my channel to do the things I want. So like you need that like less enjoyable content to help grow your channel.
Yep.
And then get eyes on the content that's like unique and special and makes you stand out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the model you should be going for.
Yep.
Yeah, because at this point, whenever people are already established, like the people that make tutorials, and if you try to make one, and let's say Milo uploads like a shield tutorial at the same time as you, it's like, what's the point? Because I mean, people are gonna rely on him. They know he's like reliable in terms of providing that information. What's the point of going to yours? You have to provide a certain reason for people to actually come to you.
You need your niche. You need your and I'm a big believer, huge believer. And I remember when it was Artificial Gaming, I was talking to Vinny. I was like, Vin, can you imagine if this channel turns into someone where they want to come for you? They just want to come for you. Now I feel like that's the perfect scenario you can have for your channel. You could post Minecraft that one day, you could post Pokemon the other day, and then boom, they're there for you. They're there
like
for
Pat
you.
said, like that's kind of what Noah's gotten to.
Yes.
I see Noah like playing whatever he wants, and people will watch. He's gone to that point where people watch for him because they like who he is and how he plays, and that's what he's been trying to get to this whole time, and breaking out of zombies and stuff. And it took him a long time. I mean, you saw the process of him switching to games, and he would tweet about how like he was nervous.
He'd be vocal.
He's very vocal about how scared he was, but he was thankful for the people that stuck around for anything he did.
Yeah, that was like over a year ago. It was the start of 2019. He's like, and that was a good time to do it, like a start of a new year. Because obviously, I mean, like just from a business side, like CPMs are down. So,
and inevitably you got him into 100 Thieves too.
And then, I was gonna say, like, I feel like it's been a very well done transition, because he never like stopped doing zombies, but it was just like, here's a little bit more of me.
He always sneaks it in there. He sneaks in custom streams.
Yeah. But the other thing I think people forget is that he's always done that. Like he did GTA. I remember even during Black Ops 3 at the peak, like he would stream Destiny. So he's always had that kind of bit about him. That I think that made it a little bit easier.
He became a gamer. He didn't just become that gamer. That one game of a gamer.
Yeah.
I hate that term.
Because I mean Noah's first content was Skyrim.
Oh
really?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That's
he did Skyrim before zombies.
He did a ton of Skyrim videos too. Like there were a lot of them.
All right, I never knew that before. Damn.
Yeah, fun little Noah J fact for you.
Damn. But no,
I'm excited for the next one.
But let's. I'm not sure if you want to end up any comments you wanted to make, but no, yeah, I'm really excited to see exactly that. More creators doing that, more creators doing what Noah did, and more creators just being and seeing what like you've done and what a lot of creatives done, where branching out and doing stuff, taking a break, and not just seeing that as he's giving up on that, he's just doing that. So and you brought great perspective, so hopefully people can look at that and say, okay, you know what, I actually was I was in his shoes for a change. I wasn't just thinking from my opinion, I was in their their shoes. And like I say before, a big thing they forget is that it is their livelihood. At one point, you did stop going to school. Am I right? For YouTube. And what was that? Going back to school, was it sort of because now I'm getting into like the creator's mind here. Was it sort of like in your head a bit of not a failure, but like I would have wished like I didn't have to go back to school. I really wish this would.
Yeah, I feel like that'd feel weird.
Oh no, man. So for me, it was like the best thing ever. Like
because I heard you in your video said you like school.
Yeah. I do. Like I'm such a nerd. Like I like learning.
Yeah.
I love learning. And to me, like university is such a cool place because like it sets you out with this goal. You're like, okay, you want to graduate, you want to get a degree, it'll distinguish you. And like having the identity of a student is so easy. Like, oh, what are you doing? I'm going to school. It's like,
the
like,
questions,
like it's just easy. Like you don't need to like.
I make tutorials on YouTube.
Yeah, it's so easy.
What was your answer? What was your answer when people asked that? What was your occupation classification you gave people?
I always said I was a student before I said YouTuber, and still like
and when they ask that, isn't it like a little thing in your stomach? Like I really wish I could just fucking.
You're like 60 years old. I really and, like, wish doing YouTube. Like I'm a student.
Because there's sometimes I can only imagine you're like I really wish I can say I made more money than you in a week by that one video. You fuck. But I know if I say it, you're gonna look at me like I have 5 heads. I know it.
Dude, yeah, you either get like people who don't get it at all. Like I remember I met this dad and a son, and they asked me what I do, and I said, oh, I make like YouTube videos, and it was just like, you poor guy, like you are a loser. So you either get that. Or you get people who understand YouTube and then they just want to like ask you a million questions and it's like, oh my God. So now I just say like digital media. I say I work for a company and I just like do their like social media stuff.
Yeah.
Matt always said that he always mentions just that he does like stuff in terms of like ad revenue and like he just works in that sort of field. But
the problem is you gotta give them something that won't keep them asking questions. Cause I could say like, I used to do like online video content, but then that eventually.
Then they thought you were doing porn.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
because that's what that's what a porn star would say if someone asked. Like,
I make video content online.
I make video content online.
Yeah. Well, dude, Avery literally like will tell people he's like, I'm a online male entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean, it shuts people up, but like.
I had someone in my chat one time that was like he came to me, he's like, yeah, Jack, I gotta do something because my mom thinks I'm like donating to like a chatterbait streamer because she saw my bill statement last month and it was just a bunch of ones to like online video creator. I was like, dude, just let me explain it to her. I'll make it like way less awkward.
Damn.
That's incredible.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. But that what you call moving on to the other topics, but just to finish that off, hopefully though in Black Ops 5, like you said in the beginning, it's gonna be a lot of YouTubers coming back, but hopefully, man, Pat, you're happy again with zombies content. I hope it comes for you naturally that feeling again.
Dude, I'm like at this weird point because I've committed myself to like a 30-part series.
I remember you saying you're like I just couldn't put one out tomorrow. I couldn't.
I'm like, so I'm going through an old map, analyzing it, and then doing a playthrough of it.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to move on to like the later maps because that's going to taint my perspective of this map. I'm gonna be like, well, it's not as good as Origins,
Gotcha.
So I'm up to 5 right now of games I've played. And it's like, I can only make content right now on those games, like that point. But I've got so many ideas I actually want to do for like just general zombies content. That's
sick.
It's like
and the
kind
fact
of cool.
that you can do that in the off season too. Like the fact that you're thinking of these.
Yeah. So I'm like gonna have a huge list built up. I think by the time I get to like, I'll really start being able to do them like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. But I'm like, I got some ideas. I'm excited to try out.
Dude, listen, I'm very excited to hear it, and especially one idea I want to get to, because this all started from one idea, the Z House. And the Z House is a big thing that people wanted to definitely talk about, why they wanted me to bring up on the podcast, is the Z House. So I'm going to ask the simplest questions at first, the origin of the Z House. How did the first question or anything come up of the Z House? So the beginning of it all.
Okay, so it actually started with me and Lex.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
how did you not alienate anyone? Because I feel like you would be thinking about, you're like, oh, but this person's gonna.
Yeah, how'd you make those decisions?
We did. Yeah, I don't want to get into like that side of things because it's kind of like personal stuff.
Yeah.
Like we certainly, I won't like lie. We totally like alienated people.
I mean, it's unavoidable at that point, though.
Yeah. So I think like me and Lex were really like, I mean, we've always been tight, but like at that point it was like we were very tight and like we wanted to do something. I was like, dude, like, there's like the Face House and all these other old like smaller houses. Like there was one way back in the day with like Syndicate and T Martin.
Oh yeah. God.
Gamer Shore, dude. Yeah. So
Gamer Shore.
That was the inspiration for Z House.
With Muzza Fuzza? I don't even know if Muzza Fuzza does anything.
I think I have no idea.
Muzza Fuzza, damn.
Yeah. So like that was kind of the inspiration. I was like, dude, how cool would it be? We just live together and it's like we'll be able to all be super creative because we, instead of like having to get in a call, it's like you're cooking breakfast and you're like, hey dude, what do you think about this idea? So it never really like started as like we're gonna make videos together. It was like, we could, but it was more just to get surrounded in a creative mindset because that's the hardest thing about YouTube is no one in your IRL world like understands it. So it's like we'll just all pack in. And yeah, so like it was us, and then it was just kind of like figuring out who would be good fits that we knew, and that was really it.
You pretty much made an Avengers team. You pretty much had to assemble an Avengers team.
That was it.
And so now I remember it. So I remember there was a trip you all guys did to LA at one point. I'm not sure. Maybe it was for the Omaze event, and you were all in LA. And that was the first time I ever seen that whole group. Lex, you. I think Red Austin was there at the time. It was Chucky, Lonely Mailbox. And I remember looking at that, and I even said to myself at that time, even before I even knew what the hell I was going to do for YouTube, I even said to myself, I'm like, this is going to be like the Vanoss group of zombies. This is going to, I can see it already. So that first year, so at this point, you already had Chucky in mind, Lex in mind, you already had your group. So now, was there any part of you where you were like, this is not going to happen, this is all talk, like we're just all talking about it, it's probably not going to happen, and then leading up to that one main DM that led to, okay, we're about to book this house?
Yeah, man, I don't think there were really any, like, I mean, certainly like all the logistics and like there was a lot going into that for sure. But it was just like that 5, it was like, wow, we have a really good chemistry.
Yeah.
So that was it. And then it just ended up being like, okay, like let's just look at Airbnbs, and like there were really no roadblocks. Like it just kind of all fell into place. Like,
no landlords X, like, what are you guys doing? 4 guys
here. like Jack, it was like in the area where Jack's from. So like it was where we were looking, like Southern California, basically. So yeah, it was just like Jack was able to go to a few different houses, check them out, and be like, yeah, this one's good, this one's good.
Oh, nice.
He knows the area too.
Yeah, the one that we got, which is, by the way, a very public location. Like if you're from that town, you know where that house is.
Especially Lex's videos when he pretty much recorded the whole front of it.
It's right it's right next to a community park and a community beach. So that was like a little bit rough. But
how many encounters you have with fans coming up to the door?
Oh, do you want to like?
Let's go! I was recording with Lex an hour ago. I was like, Lex, I'm gonna ask for some stories. Lex, and he goes, Pat has a bunch.
Okay, so I mean, we had a lot of like, when it's like an 8-year-old coming up to your door, it's not like
you're like, oh, okay, how you doing, like that type of stuff. Yeah,
you're
But when it's like, someone your age and they know the social cues and they know what's up,
So yeah, we had one day I stepped out of the house to go catch a Pokemon because Pokemon Go was huge at that time.
That was the time, dude.
And there was like a parent and 2 or 3 kids sitting in their car just waiting for one of us to come out.
Oh, that's so
and
weird.
And so they brought us a pizza, and like I took photos with all of them. And it wasn't the kids that I was like, oh, this is weird. I was like,
yeah, the parents.
You're a parent, and you're just like bringing them to the like.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like,
I was about to say, like, that's not even the kids' fault. The kids are like,
No.
can we go do this? It's the parents' job to be like, no, that's weird. Like,
that's called stalking.
That's called stalking.
But yeah, so I had this. So this is like really like kind of eerie. This guy, he left a letter to the house. He just dropped it on our
just
thing.
there, and then you should have just burnt it, did some sacrifices, and that's it.
Yeah. So, my thought, I read it, and it was like really, really kind, and he even said, he's like, hey, I didn't want to intrude on your privacy, so, I just wanted to say like thank you so much for everything. And I was like, wow, that's really nice. And he left his Instagram, and so I was like, okay, I'll just send him a message back, just say thanks. That opened the door. So then, like a week later, he comes to the door and he like wants to hang out with me.
Oh boy!
And I said, I didn't want to be rude, but I just said, sorry, man. Like we've got a lot of stuff going on. I don't think this is gonna work. So then, he leaves, and he messaged me like a few more days. He's like, hey, would you like to grab lunch sometime? And I said, like, no. Like.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Is that why you guys were so paranoid in that one video whenever the garage door was open? Like, you thought, like, because of people in general?
I don't think it was like that specific person, but it was like, oh, this is possible. Like, it opened up our imagination. So, he asked me that, and then I think he like came back again. And I had to send him like a really stern message. I was like, dude, like you are invading our privacy. Like
you're a stalker.
We don't really feel comfortable with you coming over. Yeah. Please just respect, like, this is our home. This is where we're living. And then it got weird.
It got weirder after that?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Come on.
I figured it would diffuse the situation like that.
So he sent me another letter. He left it on our thing. Like apologizing,
fucking Dunder Mifflin over there.
Stuff. And it was like, anyways, like if you would like to talk, I will be hanging out in the park till like 9 p.m. tonight or something. Like it was like late to the point where it was like going to be dark. That's really weird. And I just think like I didn't reply or something. And then my last week there, he left me a gift bag with like $100 worth of stuff in it. There was a gift card to a steakhouse. Like iTunes, there's a t-shirt, some candy. And I said, dude, this is creepy. Like this is like you are going so far beyond like what you should do.
I just got confidence.
And I didn't reply. I was like, guys, I do not feel right like using any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm leaving in a week. I
would just leave it there.
Like I was like, yeah, like, can we just like leave this? Because like, I don't want to, like, now it's like I've accepted a gift from him.
Wow.
Chat, stop calling him a simp. I hate that term it's so overused now.
I mean, listen, he may have started the trend. Who knows?
The OG simp, I swear to
God. I'm surprised like Matt's jersey didn't come out. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, the funny thing was the first time he came over, Matt answered the door. I was still sleeping. And he's like, hey, can I talk to Pat? He's like, oh, I guess
we're good friends.
Yeah. So anyways, I ignored that. And I think he then started sending me like really weird messages on Instagram, and I had to block him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Like, dude.
It's people like that you're like, do you not know this isn't normal? Did anybody not teach you that?
And I to be fair, I think he had some sort of
and you have to
issue, but still like it was very disturbing for me. Like
How do you and what you call it? Not even to the extent you're talking about. But I'm starting to get these DMs where it's like they feel like they're entitled to play with me. They feel like I need to talk to them. I need to answer them. And then I'm like, but if I don't answer them, and then they see I tweet something publicly, they're the type of people that go, but I just saw you tweet publicly. Why didn't you answer me? That eats me up. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Having unread or having DMs sent, and then you just like you get to the point where you just don't respond to a lot of them. It slowly gets to the point where you're like, oh, what do they think? Like, do they think I'm like mad at them? Do they think I'm just giving them the cold shoulder? When in reality, like you said, it opens doors. Like, you don't want to open a lot of doors. You just kind of want to keep your headspace straight and just keep on going.
Dude, I find that like that, and the thing that I've found in the last few years is like business emails. Like, I get a lot of companies that like bigger companies that will have like multiple people who are designed just to reach out to YouTubers. And so like I shouldn't mention them. I don't want to call anyone out, but there's like this one merchandise company that I probably said like a year ago, like, hey, I'm not interested. And then like, I'll just get like every single month another email from them. And it's like, it's that same thing where it's like, you feel bad for not replying, but then they just keep sending follow-ups. It's like, stop.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you tell them stop? How do you tell them enough?
Yeah. And then you say no, and it's like, well, why? I'm like, dude, like, I just
don't want to.
Yeah. Like, no. So I don't know. Yeah. That's like a whole thing. It's like the more like subscribers you have, the more people want from you.
Yeah.
This weird thing. Yeah.
That same Z house.
But yeah, Z house. Let's get back to that.
Yeah. So that same house where that shit was going on, that same house, you guys made a lot of public videos for the first time, going out in public and making videos where when Lex was on this show, the first time ever Lex was on, he explained how when he did that blowjob sign video, he said he almost got knocked out from a guy that was blocking the escalator. So how was that? Because I know all you guys were probably up on top of the boardwalk, probably watching down. How are those videos for the first time when you were experiencing the whole group in a different category of public videos?
Okay, so first let's talk about that blowjob one.
Dude, I don't know how he has the balls to go in front of the whole yoga thing and say he's a wacko.
Okay, I think I want to say that like it was like we were gonna like I was like, you know, we wanted to do something super offensive or something like weird. Yeah. Not like really offensive, but like
I gotcha.
Off-putting. And I think I was the one that specifically suggested free blowjobs. And
taking credit.
Like, okay, we're gonna go film it. And I said, guys, I'm not going. I was like,
you aren't going.
Idea. You created the monster. You have to see it.
I didn't go.
Wow.
I didn't go. And you know, there's footage. Like, I don't know how much Lex went into it, but like, yeah, the guy was like,
the guy was blocking him from going down the stairs.
And they recorded it all. And the 5 of us sat down and watched it. And then it was like, okay, we're going to delete this and no one's ever going to see it.
Really?
Dude, it was bad. Like, that was, I think, the worst thing we ever did.
Like close blows? Like close blows?
Yeah, man. Like, people said, like, we've called the police.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And what did Lex have on? A blanket? He had on. I don't know what he had on.
He had his weeaboo costume on. Oh. The blanket, the neck pillow, which was mine, by the way.
That was yours?
Dude.
Did he destroy that thing?
The neck pillow.
He got a horrible sunburn, and then he kept wearing it, and so his skin started peeling all over it. And I was like, dude, just keep it. Like,
keep it.
I don't want that thing.
You keep that in your sandals. Keep it.
Yeah, but dude,
God.
like, to talk about the just the public stuff.
Yeah.
I hated that content.
Wow.
I'm not someone who can just go up to someone and act like a fool. Like, that really embarrasses me. I have no problem going up to people and having an actual conversation with them. Like, I love, approaching people, but because it was doing something weird, it's like, guys, like, this is not for me. So every single one, like, video that you have of me going out, in my mind, I'm like shitting my pants.
What was that? There was one, I forgot the specific one. It was you going up and saying, was it like song lyrics or something? That was Jack.
There was one where I was just going up to people trying to sell them G Fuel.
Yes.
That made me super uncomfortable.
You want to buy G Fuel?
Yeah.
You want to buy G Fuel?
Yeah,
what is it?
yeah.
It's an energy drink.
I think the other one was like I had to go get someone to like dance with me or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But man, like
There's
everyone
just some
else,
people built for that kind of thing in terms of mentality, like going up to people and just acting like so stupid or making them uncomfortable.
You would have got greater reactions in New York. In LA, I feel like everybody's just like this in LA, and they just walk in doing their thing in LA, you know?
Because everybody in LA assumes everyone else in LA is crazy, so they just recognize that.
Yeah.
What was the big meme one with the ray gun, Lex and the ray gun?
Yeah, those were great.
Yeah.
Those
Milo trying to get people to answer timeline questions.
Milo was in the first Z House.
Milo got a girl's number, like legitimately.
Oh,
yes,
really?
I remember that.
That was crazy.
Yo, Milo's slinging it at the Z House. All right, Milo.
How long was he there? How long was Milo there?
I think he was there for like 10 days. So
and Noah, when the COD XP happened, that's when Noah and everybody started coming.
Yeah. So yeah, Noah and Dalek, they came down a little bit earlier. Oh, so what I should say is all three of those got flown out to play Garag Crovey.
Yeah.
And then I think how it went was Dalek and Noah came down. Yeah, they came down and like we hung out for like a day or two, and then we went back up to LA because we were like more near San Diego.
Yeah.
And then Milo came back down with us. I think we did like a fan meetup, and then Milo came back down.
Yeah.
And Milo was just going to be there for a day or two, fly out to San Diego. And he's like, dude, this is like amazing. Like, I love this energy and stuff. And, you know, he's like, would you guys mind if like I stay for a week? And I was like, yeah. And then we're like, you know, we can record videos with you and all that stuff. So yeah, no, that was cool too.
Yeah, the one video in public that I wanted to bring up is when Matt got that lady almost having a heart attack with the Samantha and getting kidnapped. She's like, oh my god, my daughter got kidnapped. If I would have been in that position and you pick the only woman who had her daughter kidnapped, I would.
You don't pick a woman for that. Because they're gonna have their maternal instincts kick in.
We didn't see how Matt diffused that, but I could only imagine.
Dude, and you can kind of see him in the video. He goes like, "Oh, you know, like she's with my uncle."
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. So calm down.
Yeah, but that's the other one. Like of that whole summer, there's the blowjobs, and then there's that one.
There was the blowjobs and scaring people.
The thing with that, man, is like. Matt got to this place where he couldn't back out.
Yeah, he couldn't leave her.
He says like, "Oh, I'm just joking." Like she would have chewed him apart.
Yeah,
so he had to keep going with it. But like you said, diffuse it to the point where
you could walk. You could walk away, and you're never gonna see her again.
Worried. Yeah. Oh, so glad I didn't get that one.
The worst person he could have picked to ask that question by far.
That was great though. Like, I think he went up to another group of people and he's like, "Hey, do you guys know where Agartha is?"
Oh, Agartha, yeah.
Yeah. And then one person's like, I think it's like that way.
So now
they just wanted him to leave him alone.
But so that was the first Z House. The second Z House now is where and I quote, Lex said, where the crazies came out. And I would like to just now before we get to the craziness, you know what, we'll get to that at first. So the craziness, Pat. What did Lex mean by that? So what was the craziness that went on in the second Z House? Which as much you can say without getting a felony.
Okay. Oh, well, I don't think anything like illegal happens. Maybe a little bit of illegality, but like nothing like, because I mean, like the drinking age in America is 21. Yeah. So maybe like a little bit of illegality.
That's it.
But I won't like specify. I mean, everyone at the Z House was 21 when that was going on.
Yeah.
But man, so like first Z House, I always say was
getting to know each other, probably getting a feel.
Yeah, because like we had talked online, but then there's like living with someone, so it was kind of like we were still like not comfortable around each other.
Yeah.
So we all just were in video making mode, and it was like, yeah, we're all just. Like we all kind of want to like be on our good behavior and like be like, yeah, we're all like creative YouTubers and stuff. But by the end of that summer, like, you know, you live with someone for 2 months, you really get to know them so well, like so many night talks and all that stuff. And then going into the next summer, not only are we not in San Diego anymore, we're in like downtown LA. So that immediately changes the vibe. Like, oh, we're like in this cool, like, you know,
Castle.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a castle. I forgot about that. It was like a castle.
And now we're all like best friends. So, you know, it's just like a lot of nights it would just be like, you guys want to get drunk?
That's it.
Okay.
I remember when you
know?
guys would stream like just you playing card games and stuff, and it would just
That
be like
was
one
fun.
camera.
That was
fun.
Yeah, and yeah, like that was the other thing. We got super into poker.
Just
So
for
like
no reason.
Yeah, you know, and I mean like all in all, like I think by the end of the summer, like no one was down more than $100. So it's not like it was a problem. But you know, it was just funny. It was because like we would, you know, we'd always play like beer pong, and we played a lot of poker. It was like we just started gambling.
That's it. So,
Built up addictions.
And one specific thing for you, especially in that second Z house, but definitely you've dealt with it before, was your concussion. And your concussion is something you got very emotional with in a video when you were at the second Z house. And you actually saw the whole Z house in that time come around you because it was such a, not a lot of people know, probably was, and as you shown in that video, it was a very big roadblock. Just not for YouTube, not for friends, your life. Just for your. So tell me exactly what happened, how was the severity of the concussion? Because that literally affects your rest of your life, a concussion.
Yeah, so that was like the second last day before I left the first Z house.
Yes.
We were tubing and I just like
the tubing
tossed off the tube. So I had a concussion, but what I didn't realize for like 10 months, which sucks, is that along with the concussion, I also had like I don't know what you'd say, like whiplash maybe. Like I never got it like legitimately defined by a doctor, but like very, very like bad tension in my neck.
Okay.
You could definitely see it affecting your mental and everything.
Yeah, like my neck was fucked up.
Yeah.
So I had a concussion, and then when you get a concussion, your neck also like tightens up to like stop your head from moving around more. So like you know, it was.
Did you know? Did you like get a? Did you get a when did you get a diagnosis after the accident?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I had to like fly home and all this stuff. And I mean, I played football. And because of that, I knew I had one before. I knew what it felt like.
Okay.
And it wasn't as bad as that.
So you had two concussions.
Man, probably like 5 because football is the stupidest sport ever. But yeah, so I had like. It felt minor because I knew what like worse ones, like banging your head into someone felt like. I was like, okay, this is definitely concussion, but I just got to get home and all this stuff.
Yep.
And like within a week, like it was just getting worse. And yeah, like I was just like, I spent like the next like week or 2 weeks like just in bed, like doing nothing, because that's what you're supposed to do when you have concussion.
That's even more rough on your mental though, because then you're laying there like,
so you're like
doing nothing.
Yeah, you're like chemically depressed because like all your stuff gets shut off line when you get a concussion.
Shit.
And then I'm doing nothing. So there's like 2 weeks and then Revelations dropped. And I was like,
man.
Wow.
So I didn't get to like really upload a lot on Revelations. I did a first time playthrough.
You went to COD XP, am I wrong? Did you go to COD XP?
I had to not go to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
So it even affects even more because then you're like, I'm missing out on this. And in this accordance with you laying there doing nothing.
Yeah. So like
imagine.
If things had gone really well, you know, I probably would have been over the concussion, I think, like in a month. You know, like, I mean, after you get a concussion, you know, it really takes a long time to get completely back. But like, you know, I would have been good after a month or two, I would say, like back on track. But because of this other thing that happened to my neck, I had like this crazy headache all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel it in my neck because my neck was just tight. But it was like this constant.
It's like a
headache.
migraine?
Yeah, like all the time.
Jack's from
yeah, I used to get headaches every day. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. And that's rough because it's like, well, like being on this job, it's like just staring at screens all the time. Like,
yeah.
It's not easy. So
it's rough.
Yeah. And then I mean Black Ops 3 was over. So it was like the highest high and then just straight down like the lowest low. So bad. And I feel like that whole fall, winter, like it just wasn't getting better. And I was like, so messed up. And I went to like, because at this time I still thought it was like just the concussion. I didn't realize there was like all this tension in my neck.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to like a doctor, and they got me like medication to go on for like that is supposed to help with like headaches, I guess.
Yeah.
And like the medication was fucking me up, and
By side effects and shit like that.
yeah, so like the medication was originally an antidepressant.
Okay.
And then they found like if you take like a tenth of the dose, it helps with migraines.
Same thing with me. I have back problems, and they're like, "Oh, it also helps with anxiety too." So
yeah. And I mean, I'm already a pretty flat person, so going on something that makes you like,
so mellow, it's probably very...
Oh yeah. So I was just like sitting at riding at a 5. It's like everything was a 5. I hated it. Like no
nothing
emotions.
felt that interesting or non-interesting to you. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I just basically ride that like into spring. Still wasn't good, and I was like, I actually read a book about concussions, and it was like just mentioned something about neck, and I didn't even really think about it. And then like a little bit later, I was like, man, what if I started going for massages? Maybe like that'll help. And I went for like 2 before, like the Z House was coming up, and I was like, I'm still gonna do this. Like I was better, but not great. Like the medication was helping quite a bit.
You can only do so much.
Yeah, because it wasn't like the root of the problem. So going into the Z House, it was like, this is gonna be really hard for me because like I'm gonna be so like not enthusiastic, but like I'll just have to like tough it out and do it for the videos, but rest a lot. And I had like 2 massages before I left, and it was like the best I had felt in like 10 months.
Really? Was it like what was it like really high end kind of stuff, or was it? I mean,
it was
you
like
do research behind it.
Like, well, I mean, I didn't know, but I was just like, well, let's try it. And like physio or not physiotherapist, but like whatever, like massage therapist, like
orthopedic.
Something, I don't know, but like they have a lot of schooling, so they know, and like they were like digging on like this side of my neck, and it was like what the fuck happened to you?
Because they're pushing into those muscles that are all tightened and loosening.
Yeah. So anyways, realized like, oh wow, that's way better. And then got to the Z House, and it was like I think I started going for a massage like every 5 days. Like I was like, it was weird how often I was going. It was like, Pat, you getting like rub and tugs there or something? Like why? like what's going on here?
Robert Kraft.
Yeah, but man, that was like every week I was getting better, and it was like the headaches were going away. I was feeling so good, and it's like now I'm surrounded by like 4 of my best friends of like and I'm in this really sunny place, and I'm just making videos, and it was like this crazy thing that all worked together.
Perfect storm,
and it was just like it just took one summer.
Because you probably didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel at all. Like you probably weren't thinking, and it probably came to you so fast, like the change of mood so fast that you were like, oh my, that's when all the emotions hit you probably.
Yeah, and so much like looking back at me, like why did I like do that, like go on the tube and all that stuff, and it was just like over the course of one summer, everything got better.
Yeah.
How did you think of like doing like what drove you to go to the massages for that? Did you like hear from someone, or?
Like I said, I was reading a book, and like it just mentioned like this girl was in a car accident, and like I just something about like whiplash. I was like, oh, maybe like I think
might as well try it.
Yeah, like I don't really think I took it to heart for like a few more months after that, but I was like, can't hurt, right?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And you know what? Did you ever know if it was like a bulging disc or a herniated disc in your neck that probably messed it up? Because I have bulging disc in my back, and they always say massages. And yet, oh my God, it affects the sciatic nerve down my leg. I cursed out Jack a lot. It happens. But no, but it's also funny too. Like you said, I wish it didn't go on the tube. When those things happen, you say to yourself, yeah, I wish I didn't do that. And then at the end of the day, it's like, I gotta live my life, though. I gotta live my life.
The one thing I learned from it is like, live your life, but like, you don't need to do stupid shit. Like, that definitely made me more cautious. I was like, like, I don't need to tube ever again in my life. Like, I can still live a very full life and never tube again.
No,
So there's little things like I I had planned on still skydiving. I know I said it in like
Yeah.
6 years ago, and I've never done it. But it's like, I don't know. Like, it's probably like a 99% chance I'll be fine. But it's like, I don't need to like fuck up my leg on the
fall down. Yeah.
You know,
and
like
the first time you skydive, you go with someone, right? You go tandem.
Yeah.
You have to.
But yeah, I just those little like really insane risks. I think I just became kind of like, life's pretty awesome without that.
Yeah.
So,
You gain a respect for the more like low key kind of stuff and not living high like that. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, no, Z House 2, like, it's funny because everyone looks at Z House 1 and they're like, man, those were the best times because that was the best content.
Yeah.
But Z House 2 for me, like, saved me.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It showed. It really did show.
Yeah.
And then I was feeling better. I was like, man, I want to go back to school. Yeah.
Oh, so that's when it was. That's when you made that epiphany.
Yeah, that was when I made the call to go back. Yeah.
Oh, so now explain that first couple days back. Was it weird? Was it like, how was that first coming back?
Oh, dude, it's funny because like there's like a thing people say is like LA kind of changes you. Like you get that like yeah. And it's true, man. Like I think I just felt like such a hot shot coming back, you know, like going back to this like little school.
Did you have anyone at your school that you like knew personally that you would see every day, or was it just you going there, going to class, taking care of stuff and leaving?
Oh yeah. Like I mean, I had a roommate and I had some really good buddies, but man, that year like just turned into like a booze fest.
Damn, really?
You came back
partying
to
up.
University, like, I'm back, baby.
Dude, I partied my ass off that year. Oh my God. Like the last semester. So it was like all my friends that had been at that school were graduating that year, but because I took the year off, I was going to be another year. So they were all leaving. I was like, well, I'm partying with you guys. Like it's my last year too.
That's it.
You know? Yeah. So man, I mean,
still keep up uploads like with going to school and partying so much. That amazing.
Dude, I don't know. There were weeks of that year where I drank like 5 nights in a row.
Oh my God.
I was
You almost on Dr. Drew Celebrity Rehab.
Dude, it was like a counter response to doing nothing. It was like I wanted to do everything. And I was like partying, but I was like still like getting good grades and uploading YouTube, and it was just this craziness. Like
it was like that it's like when the weekend starts, like another world you go into.
Yeah, man. And we were just like, it was very nuts. I'm glad I like backed off from that.
Yeah.
Because like that's a very, very unhealthy
dangerous territory.
Of course.
But I'm not gonna lie and be like, oh, I don't drink. Like, no, dude, I was insane. Like I was stupid. It was ridiculous.
And Canadians can hold their liquor, man. so they can go to the pub and they can go to the bar, like, man. But you know, like you said, it was probably you rewarding yourself for. I was in my bed for like almost a whole year, and now I'm actually gonna go and I can actually experience life again.
Yeah, but you know what else? To be honest, was like I think doing YouTube and school was like kind of unhealthy because it was so much in the week. Like I just wake up and go every day. Like if I wasn't partying or like hanging out with friends, I was making videos or studying. So it was almost like I had this insane workload and I needed like something to like cancel out the stress almost. Because you know that's obviously like a classic like trope is like college students drink because they're stressed out about like exams and all that stuff, but also like it's because it's fun. But I also had this like full-time job, so I was just like go. And then if I wasn't going, I was like, well, I want to make the most of this day, so let's just drink our faces off.
Because a lot of the other people you were partying with, I imagine, were just students. Like they didn't have this whole other life that they had that they relied on and like was their livelihood basically. Yeah,
they were just studying. But it's just like what students do, you know. And Yeah, it was like looking back, I'm like, man, who the hell was that?
Listen,
different person.
everybody has those phases. Everybody has those
Yeah.
moments where they got to step back and look like, oh, that was another person. Damn, that was funny shit.
Yeah, but I don't regret it. Like,
Of course not. Fuck it up. Let's go. Go crazy.
It doesn't put like a permanent dent on anything. You enjoyed yourself, and like you said, you kept up with schoolwork, you kept up your grades, and kept up YouTube. I mean,
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, and I was like, I still like, you know, pretty like, you know, safe. Like I wasn't like blacking out to the point where
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like gonna die, you know?
waking up not knowing where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. But
in his head, Pat's like, I had those days sometimes.
I was gonna say,
sometimes
but,
I'm
you know,
like that.
sometimes you miss
For a
your
couple times.
This is not my dorm. Where am I? What the fuck is this? Oh my
yeah.
god. But no, man, like you said, it's at the end of the day, it's the gift and the reward. You rewarded yourself for just like this time that was going on, and you did it. And the best thing is, for example, the best thing is you saying to yourself now, like, that's it. I'm back to just focusing on this. And but I'm pretty sure you still go out sometimes, party with friends sometimes,
yeah.
and that's it. So it ain't gonna stop for the, you know, you were still growing up. You're still in your golden age of your life. You're still gonna keep on doing shit.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, for me, and I'll just say it anyone to preface the whole like me being like, yeah, I used to party like crazy. Is like,
yeah.
I've definitely like now it's like when I drink, I'm like conscious of how much I'm drinking, and I'm
You're a
like,
social drinker.
actually responsible about it now.
Yeah. Social
Yeah.
drinking, yeah.
Yeah, and that's nice. You know, you wake up,
Yeah.
you don't feel like shit. You didn't feel horrible.
Dude.
You're just a little more
it's-
confident, and it's great. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pat, listen, as we start getting towards the end of this podcast, I want to get to some of my actually personal questions. It's only one I have for you. And right now, and I'm very transparent in this podcast, very, very no filter. And I try to tell my sexy bastards, I'm like, when I hit 10K, I even told Jack I was at a point where I thought I would be happy. I thought I would be ecstatic. However, you definitely went through this probably as growing as a YouTuber. How do you stop? Because this is my biggest problem I have mentally. How do you stop? Or I know it's probably never going to stop, like that feeling and never going to go away, just like the number-oriented stuff. It really ain't going to go away, but you can diffuse it. Stop giving a fuck on other people's channels. Stop tunnel vision, Pat. How did you work on tunnel vision, or how did you work on it? Because there's probably people when you were getting up there, you probably saw a quote unquote competition where you were like, what? This person's doing that. What the hell? So was there any tunnel vision tips you can give me to be like, Turbo, if you see someone doing that and I think it's bullshit, at the end of the day, it's YouTube, it's the algorithm. So tell me your ways of going through it.
Okay, I didn't think that's where you're going with that question, but I like this.
That's
I like
where I'm
this.
going with this.
Yeah.
That's my fucked up head, man.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were gonna say like, where can I be like happy with having an amount of subscribers?
Well, you know, with that means it too. That means that's exactly in the same boat. It's like, how can I be satisfied? Because a year ago, I was nowhere close to this or where I'm at right now, even the smallest part where I'm at right now. And going back, and if I would have told myself, Turbo, you'd be doing this, and this, back then I would have been jumping up for joy. Holy shit, oh my god. Now it's so much, I gotta keep it going. I gotta maintain this. I gotta maintain it. So that tunnel vision of people that are just skyrocketing past you when you're looking at them, like, what's special about them? How do you find that tunnel vision of like, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna focus on me. I don't care, focus on me. I don't care, focus on me.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from just being like I don't know if I want to say like confident, but like secure that like you're putting out the content that you're happy with. Because like I know, especially like in Fortnite, for example, where there's such a huge pool of creators. Like
I'm sorry to cut you off. I can only imagine for you at Fortnite, it was the people that were doing these sub giveaways and those like those what are they called? The fashion shows, and they're gaining
countdown to Moisty Meyer.
Countdowns. When they're getting 13,000 views a live stream, and you try to do something actually entertaining, something, and it's not getting the looks.
I think it's easy to like put off the like countdown to this being destroyed because like it's like, dude, that's not gonna like last long term. Like people are gonna realize like you're a piece of shit and check out your channel. But it's like the people who are what always bothered me were the people who kind of like cut the corners on like clickbaiting really badly where it's like, you know, this like happening.
It's like
but,
outrageous.
It's like still content, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not like horrible where it's like clickbait and no content. It's like really misleading, but like they're still there.
Yeah.
This is a very thin line, yeah.
That really bothered me because like, yeah, that really bothered me because I was like, man, I wish like I was getting their stats. But I think for me, it's like, again, like I had to tell myself like short term, like anything with clickbait, it's like that short term stuff isn't worth your long term reputation.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an easy one. When you're seeing someone who it's like, man, they're just a better creator than me and they're bigger than me and they're just always going to be bigger. Like, I think a lot of the time you just kind of have to accept like you're not the best YouTuber. Like you're never going to be because there's always going to be someone better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find a kind of a peace in that too. And
yeah. Like you're only as good as you can be. You're only as good as you are, but like you can be better yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like kind of like accept that like, you know, like I know I'm never going to be PewDiePie, but like I can be a better version of the Smith Plays.
Yeah. No, without a doubt.
I think you just, you know, look at other channels, see what they're doing, learn stuff from them, you know, make your content better, but like still try to be you and just yeah, I think you just kind of have to accept like there's always going to be someone that's
because I get in these spells where I can go on Twitter for 2 minutes and I can just scroll and I can see someone who I'm like and then I can see their content. I'm like, that's what they're putting out. I'll
wake up and roll over and look at my phone. I get a message from Turbo. And it's just like, I'll just scroll. It's like, Jack, I swear to God, you won't believe what I'm seeing right now.
No, because at the end of the day, Pat, you can understand this too. When it's, you know, you're working hard on a vid and you know it's actually a vid you're working hard on, and then you got all these people that are vocalizing, look how hard I'm working. I've been grinding. I'm like, you're making that. Like you're making that. So like I get in these spells of depression and like anxiety when I'm like really to the point where I'm like, am I not doing anything right? Do I gotta start switching to that type of content? Am I not doing something right here? Because I get in those spells so much, and I'm also only 19. I'm so young to be putting myself through that mental strain, and I keep saying to myself, I'm still young. I got my life. My main goal is to do stand up one day, be a big to make it in the stand up comedy world. This, I tell people, this is a step up. This is for me something that I grew, and this is something that I am starting to see where my life is gonna go. And this is a huge part of my life now, and I have to keep thinking to myself, I don't have the same goals as everybody else. Somebody's goal to get 1 million subs is their goal because in their mind, they only have YouTube for their future. I have so many other things in my future that's the one thing keeping me, like you said, just being self-secure and confident with your own content, is that I keep writing down, like, I don't have the same goals. My peak isn't their peak. So I have to keep saying that to myself a lot.
Dude, that's a healthy attitude to have. Like, even I remember being at the Z House, like seeing Jack interested in music and Matt's getting into all this production, and like seeing people go beyond YouTube. I'm the opposite. Like, my goals were YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to remind myself of my goals. But just something to like throw in here.
Yeah.
Something I always see, like when I go to trending, is like Minecraft content that personally I think is like super cringy.
Yeah.
Like just,
like music videos and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like 30-year-olds like trying to cater to like 8-year-olds. And like I see that, you know, those people getting like millions of views. And to me, I have to remind myself, it's like I would not be happy with myself if I was uploading that content.
Yep.
Like I wouldn't feel good myself.
Pat, I am so happy you fucking said that. Because yes.
I need to be happy like with my own content.
Yes, and right now it's that same mentality. You're crazy. You just said that because that's exactly hit the nail on the head. It's back in the day, I feel like what broke me out as and put my niche is I wanted to be behind the camera. I wanted to do stuff behind the camera. I wanted to do more stuff IRL relating to this game mode. And I said to myself, if I were to just do, even though it works and it's acceptable, and of course, whatever you love to do, that's what you do. However, for me and what makes me happy, I wouldn't be happy anymore if I just threw some gameplay on the screen and a commentary and that's it. I wouldn't be happy with that personally. So when you know what you wouldn't be happy with personally, and not just to do it for the numbers and stuff, and like you said, for like going all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, where there was some uploads like for you and Zombies, where towards the end you were like, I'm not happy with this, but yet I'm still posting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
dude. Listen, Jack. Anything else you have to say to wrap it up?
Did she want to mention the diss track?
So, Pat, we did a diss track on you, man.
Yes, I remember the diss track. Young gentleman.
Not my idea.
On me.
Not my idea. Jack X made a feature on the track.
This was when I didn't really know you that well either, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
this is all on you, Jack.
Go, Jack. Go, Jack.
Because when did we start on the podcast, or when did I like the episode 2?
February, maybe.
February, so this was like a couple months after that. So I mean, we still weren't even that like close to each other, but yeah, that was an interesting time. I will say, wearing I think I wanted to do it because I had a lot of fun making the first one on Noah, and it got a lot of positive response. But yeah, that feels like so long ago now. I can't believe it was a year and a half ago.
So it's on
this only a year and a half ago.
July.
Yeah,
so
July
it came out July 1st, 2018. And
like a year and 8 months.
Look at that,
yeah.
Featuring Turbo from Artificial Gaming. So that just that 2018.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna So here's me, right? I'm in Coney
I
Island.
can't rewatch this. There's no way.
Oh, I can. And you know what's so funny? As I was doing this diss track, right, I was like, I don't even know, Pat. I don't even know what the fuck, like, personally, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing rapping, but I just wanted to do a music video. I wanted to do a music video so bad at Coney Island.
We're such amateurs when it comes to music video creation. We have no idea what we're...
Oh, no, but look at the dedication, Pat. I was crushing lemons at Coney Island. I brought lemons to the beach. I was squishing them. I even ate one.
I bought like 15 or 20 stalks of corn. I'll say walking into like a grocery store and walking out with just like a ton of corn, just like in your hands, was the weirdest thing ever. I didn't even know what to do with it once we got to that point. So I just put it all in my jacket and just kind of unzipped. I think there's like a scene where it's like falling on me. That was actually kind of painful.
Yeah. No, but I remember you even said for one of Jack's lines was, talk about your two little dubs, and then Pat said in the comments, it was like, if you bring up my solo dubs, we can't be friends.
back when social standards were based on how many Fortnite wins you had.
Oh, dude, I was so insecure at that point.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah, because I was like, I mean, like everyone at that time in Fortnite was like making, like they were streaming, and it was like so like, crazy. And it was my first ever keyboard and mouse game. So here I am, like learning to use keyboard and mouse while everyone's like building circles around me.
Yeah.
And I had like,
so like 100+ wins, and you're like, I got like 2 down here.
Yeah, I had like 2. So yeah, I did not like that stat because I was like, oh, this doesn't line up with like the fact that I'm a Fortnite YouTuber.
That's it.
I'm out here making content.
Yeah.
But no,
times,
but hey, Jack, that was a great line. That means then that was a great line. You hit him where it fucking hurt.
You
hit him where it fucking hurt.
So you looked that up, eh? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I remember like going to one of your videos, finding your username and finding it. I was like, oh shoot, this is gonna be a line.
So Pat,
that was some ammo right there.
Jack, I think we're gonna have to wait for him to make one on us. I think that's what I think.
The season of diss tracks is long gone, and I'm so grateful for it.
I will never do that.
I'm happy. Yeah, that whole diss track fucking part.
That was as far out of my shell as I will ever go. Is making a diss track on someone.
I love the fact that Jack made one.
Yeah, on you guys.
Like Jack, Lonely Mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. That video inspired me a lot because it was a very well done video.
Yeah.
It was well produced.
I mean, like we showed up for it, but like everything was Jack. Like he got the location, he hired the bodyguard, he got all the props and stuff.
Yeah.
And I forget.
He didn't tell you guys ahead of time what was gonna happen. Like,
well, yeah, he let us know. Like he had the
aside from you being there, he was just like, all right, guys, be there. I'll show you what's gonna happen. Like he directed the whole thing.
Yeah, you know how the idea for that video actually came out was, like we were driving one night and Matt took a wrong turn. And I remember just like, I just had a really weird idea. And I was like, do you guys ever just get like really weird thoughts? He was like, yeah, I just had a thought that Matt taking the wrong turn is he's going to take me out to the desert and kill me and bury me in the sand. And so like, that was the idea. Like Jack, like he's like, whoa, what if like, yeah.
Who was it that did your advice for the day? Didn't you have like an advice, a line of advice every day? Like someone asked you for advice each morning. I don't know if it was Lex or something. It was in some video. I remember like a lot of really random details from those videos, but maybe it was Lex. I'm not really sure.
Man, I don't even remember, but there was a lot of specific stuff in that.
And we even brought it up before the show started. I was like, it was a Z House diss track, but then he was like, yep, it was all Pat. I'm gonna write everything about Pat. That's it. And then in the reaction video, you were like, this is Lex. This is all me, Jack. This whole verse is me. Matt only had the line of itty bitty witty vlogger. And that was it for Matt. Then Chucky was mac and cheese and coming out of the closet. That was all for him. But then for you, it was like, you stream Origins, you do this, you do that. I'm like, I guess we fucking find out.
Loading into that.
I think we know who Jack doesn't really like that much. I'm like, God.
Dude, I'm trying to find the line, but it's like, it's something like, okay, who's up next? And it's like Lex. And then he says like one thing, and then it's like back to me.
I
think there's just a lot more specific, like really stereotypes about you that can be made, like which is all your personality traits and everything that's more identifiable than like Chucky, for example. And it was easier to go in on that.
True.
Dude, what is Chucky doing now, man? He's working for Mr. Beast or something? He's doing bigger things?
Dude, I was saying this on stream the other day, but Chucky is glowed up.
So he's more behind the scenes now. He's more taken back.
This is on his Twitter, so like I'm pretty sure I can say this. But yeah, like he
does thumbnails.
He does thumbnails and like analytic based stuff. So like when you're operating at the level of, it's literally thumbnails and data. So like, I mean, you're operating at the level of Mr. Beast, like every single second in that video counts. So he was doing this for a lot of other YouTubers and like his own channels and stuff that he managed. And it was like, you know, like there's like a more significant decline at this 1 second. So like we'll take out this like little portion to help with viewer retention.
Sounds exhausting.
Dude, I don't know how he does it, man.
But that's how, dude, that's the thing is like, that's how Chucky's mind works. Like he's crazy analytical like that. So like he's really good for that stuff. And then like thumbnails, like, you know, you just work on that a while, you get a good eye for it, you know.
And Chucky seems like that person. He's very quiet, but in his head he probably has gears going.
A lot.
Yes, that is so Chucky. Like I think people in like the first Z House, like he would just like sometimes like Chucky would just be like making a funny face, so like Jack would just like zoom in on him. I mean, he did the same thing to like V2, but people would be like, you know, just like kind of like goof on Chucky because of that. And it's like, it's like Chucky's like thinking about something crazy.
It's like, you have to lock your doors going to bed at night because you don't know when he might snap. And also another question I get a lot is about Lonely Mailbox, and I actually have an answer for Lonely Mailbox. When he was doing his school stuff in the city, he asked for extras in a thing, and I actually went there, and I was in one of his student films. And when I tell you that was like the first acting thing I ever did, I went there, it was downtown Brooklyn, I went there, I see him, he goes, oh my god, hey man, what's going on? I'm so happy to do this. And he goes, okay, just wait in this thing so we can, when your scene's up, we can do it. I'm like, I found a problem. They waited there for 2 hours. I'm like, this guy forgot me. He forgot I was there. I'm sitting in this school with like a bunch of snacks and stuff that like, you know, was on a college budget. And I'm just like, okay, I'm like, he forgot about me. I was just someone, I answered him on Twitter, and then he was like, oh, let's go. You're seeing. I was like, all right, I thought you left without me, Jack. But then now Jack is, since I'm getting into stand-up comedy, Jack's working for Jim Brewer, the SNL cast guy. That's insane.
That's crazy.
That is
nuts,
insane.
Man.
He's like his tour manager or something.
Dude, he told me for like a year. He's like, yeah, I'm just like working for this comedian. He never told me who it was.
Never was Jim Brewer.
Yeah, and then I was like, what?
Yeah, he's like, bro, I can't wait twice because every comedy club I call up now, you gotta be 21 because the liquor license and stuff.
Yeah.
So I do open mics here and there, like in colleges and stuff.
Man, good for you.
Dude, and I told Jack, I'm like, Jack, we're gonna be still friends, right? I'm gonna get that.
I'm one of the only people that's seen his first stand-up show because he's very self-conscious about it.
I said 100K. I will release my first ever stand-up. Where Jack, we're the only laughs I got.
But you go through
How
that.
long
as a
was my
comedian.
pause though? Like a
maybe
minute.
10 seconds.
No way. 10 seconds.
Okay.
Maybe.
But
But
listen,
you have to have that awkward phase of
I know.
figuring yourself out as a comedian.
I was talking to a kid in the front row who
Yeah.
had a goofy puppet, and I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna talk to this kid. That's it.
Dude, I've probably listened to like 400 episodes of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you're a
from,
big.
like-
I see you in
from,
the
like-
comments section all the time in Joe Rogan's podcast.
Like, I mean, I used to listen to him way back in the day,
Mhm.
and I've kind of like, if there's a guest I really like, I'll
Yeah.
listen, but like I don't listen too much anymore.
Mhm.
But I've heard so many ones with comedians, and it's
Mhm.
like every single one they just talk about how much you suck ass at the start.
Dude, I was sweating
So-
bullets, shitting my pants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've done it. But I've done it more. I've done it probably like a handful of times only because it's so hard to find places where you have to be 20. I remember I even asked one place. I was like, "Can I walk in? Can I have like someone watch me?" And they're like, "No, liquor license." So I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
okay, take it easy." So I gotta wait till I'm 21 and start going deep. But I can't wait to start working with because it's funny because Sal Volcano from the Practical Jokers, I see him all the time. All the time in
really?
New York, all the time. But I don't go up to him. I see him in the comedy clubs and stuff. But I can't wait till I'm actually in there, and I'm
in
actually
that scene, yeah.
because it's like a glance. I'm like, oh shit, Sal Volcano. But everybody's so used to it because he's doing stand up and stuff and
Sounds
shit.
funny.
But yeah, he really is funny. But you like Joey Diaz?
Dude.
Come on, baby, come
Of
on.
course, man. Dude,
Joey
Joey's-
Diaz.
Dude, he is so funny.
Joey
He's a
Diaz is
goofball.
he is something else, but what you call it. But at the end of the day, Pat, I would just like to say thank you for coming on the show. It has been an honor to have you on the show, my friend.
Man, thank you guys
Here's
for
one
having
on the
me.
list, Turbo. The
What-
list from the
the
beginning.
list we made.
I made
from
the list.
The list we made in the beginning episode 2 of the
A
podcast,
long time
where
ago.
we had a section of who we know we're gonna get, and then who we have to pull teeth probably to get, and it was in the Smith, and just because I had no connections whatsoever. And dude, after ZWC2, which was an awesome fun time, I'm happy that we stayed in contact and stayed in touch. And listen, man, when BO5 comes out, don't be afraid to ask for anything. Don't be afraid, just not even for videos, help, advice, anything. Well, I'd be asking you for advice and shit, so that's vice versa. But no, man, like I said, just I'm very happy we stood in touch. And bro, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. And maybe we can do this again in like 6 months' time or something. And
You had a podcast, am I wrong?
I did, yeah.
So what? So what happened with that? You just didn't want to do it no more.
I just felt like I did it all for a solo podcast. Like you can only
I forgot
Yeah.
you did it solo.
Yeah.
and like I think it was. I'll just say this because a lot of people really want me to start a podcast again.
Mhm.
If I was living with like let's say like a permanent Z House type situation,
Yeah, that would
the
be an
first
awesome
thing
opportunity.
first thing I would do is start a podcast because I would love to have like a real life one. I think like having
Yeah.
That's my goal
that
too.
would be goals. But
Yep.
yeah.
Dude, and also a lot of people don't understand as like podcasts. Me and Jack know podcasts. We're almost at, this is episode 96. We're almost at episode 100. It's every week. You gotta keep it free. Even if you talk about one topic back and forth, they're gonna know. They're
There
gonna
are
say, "You
some
talked
weeks
about
where
last
Turbo
week."
and I just like we're just like we don't want to.
Oh,
like,
Pat, there's weeks where
over it.
I'm punching walls. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do it. I want blah, blah, blah. But you gotta do it. You
Yeah,
gotta
Dude,
do
how-
it.
there
how do
are
you-
weeks.
How do you think it goes talking about yourself?
Yeah, I can't
True that.
imagine.
It's like same topic every time. It's like
yeah,
You did it live
that'd be
too.
tough.
You did it live,
I
so you
did,
were just
yeah.
talking to you and then just whatever the chat gave you. But yeah, man, listen, I wish you the best of luck for your future content going into BO5, whatever the fuck they're gonna call of Duty Little Mermaid Adventures. I'm very excited, just in general, that we're starting to see new old faces come back, and I'm very excited, like you said in your tweet, I have a good feeling that hopefully there's a spark again in this next game, and Pat, you just being here, and you just talking about stuff really ensured people that hopefully one day, and you probably gave them that spark, so hopefully that is true. Anything last, Jack, you want to say?
No, I'm just really glad we could have you on, man. I mean, like I said, we've had a list for a while of just people we want to talk to and get perspective on. It's really cool to kind of finally get that perspective. So just appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. No, it was great. Like sometimes it's like you have these ideas in your head, but they don't feel real until you get to talk about it.
Yep.
So it's cool to chat.
Dude, I'm very happy. Hope we can have you on another time. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming out. Frank, thank you so much for all the donations. Everybody, thanks so much for the super chats. Since my Streamlabs is fucked, I will write them down in the next stream. I will shout them all out because I can't get no chat. I can't get my Streamlabs, so that's something else. Merch coming in the summer. A lot of people asking me that. Merch coming in the summer. Don't miss out. I'm working on all the merch now, so you should be getting merch in the early July or whatever. Or if the coronavirus stops shipping and shit, I'll keep you updated. Stay safe. Keep your hands clean. Wash your ass, and we will see you next Saturday, episode 97 of the It Is What It Is podcast. Love you all.
Later.
Thank you so much for watching the It Is What It Is podcast, you sexy bastards. As you guys know, every single Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the It Is What It Is podcast is live right here, right now on the channel. So, guys, if you did enjoy this podcast, comment what topics you want us to talk about on the next podcast, what guests you guys want us to see on any podcast in the future. Let us know. We'll get in contact with them, or maybe we'll just research them, and if we're intrigued of what they're about, we'll have them on the show. This isn't just a gaming podcast. This is the podcast that we talk about our favorite games, which in my opinion has to be Call of Duty Zombies, just in general, anything to do with zombies, because that's all the games I play. Because, that's all the games my friends play. And I don't have a lot of friends. And then they don't have a lot of games they play also, which decreases my options to meet people. I'm single right now, as I make...